Today I'm here to know your secret.
My secret? Just ask me. I would love to help you.
How is it possible for you to stay so happy, so positive all the time?
There is no secret in it, dear. Okay, tell me, what is the main cause of your unhappiness?
I'm unhappy because. But why are you asking me this? I want to know how I can be happy and positive like you.
That I very well understood, dear. But when a doctor diagnoses a patient, he first finds out the symptoms and then gives the treatment. But if he doesn't know the reason for your disease, then how will he cure you? So, to infuse happiness, first we need to understand what is making us unhappy or how we are adding misery to our lives. Okay, I'll share you how I added misery to my life. The number one reason for it was overthinking. This habit had really taken a toll on my life, and I had this habit since my childhood. If I look back, I can easily recall many of the comments by my family members. You think a lot. It is not good for such a small age. Trust me, dear, if you are an overthinker, you will literally find yourself unable to silence the continuous stream of thoughts. And with that continuous stream of thoughts, we start weaving stories. And this story is never a happy one. And these assumed stories appear so real to us that we start worrying. And you know what happened? Another addition of series of thoughts miraculously converts worry into frustration, anger, anxiety, or fear. And sometimes the combination of all of them. Thus we get trapped in a vicious circle, leaving ourselves paralyzed. Studies have also proved that overthinkers are more likely to experience headaches, muscle tension, difficulty in sleeping, sweating, anxiety, or a distorted view of problems. It also hampers our problem-solving skills. So, I would say if you are an overthinker, then please learn how and where to put a full stop to it. Oh, I never knew about it. The second one is communication gap. Understand this? Communication. It is the heartbeat to not only maintain a good relationship, but to experience a good life as well, dear. A communication gap can also be called as misinterpretation. I want to say it is not a one-way street. It is a two-way road. It may occur between you and your parents, your spouse, your children, siblings, friends, higher authorities, and the list is a huge one. This is the basic reason why most of the relationships fail or become sour. There are many reasons for communication gap, I'll tell you, but the prominent ones are, the first one I'll tell you, it is won't understand thinking. Most of the times we fail to communicate because we start assuming that the people opposite to us will not understand. Thus, we create stories or assumptions, and through these stories, we feel miserable. This is also a kind of overthinking. The second one I can say is the generation gap. Change is constant, and as year passes, things change. But sometimes our parents or our grandparents fail to understand it. This is also a two-way street here. On the other hand, we also, the present generation, also needs to understand that it is not easy for them to adapt with these changes. Trust me. Thus, what happens? It leads to communication gap. And in some families, the gap grows so wide that it badly impacts the relationship through disrespect. And I'm really sorry to say, but in some cases, we breach the limits and thus we add misery to our lives. The next I would say is anger. And dear, I don't think so I have to speak much about it. We all know how it impacts our way of communication. And there is not much to say or to understand. It is your understanding, because anger is nothing but a huge blot to our life. The next one is ego. Ego can be named as a killer. Once the ego takes charge, you lose charge on yourself. Somewhere I have read, ego is nothing but an attachment to the wrong image of yourself. That image is just a dream, an imagination, or a wrong notion about ourselves. It kills all the areas of our lives. Also, I can understand that it is tough to get rid of it, but we can try something every day so that with each passing day, we are reducing our misery. So, the next one I would like to say is the perception. Everyone has his or her own way of taking the things. No matter you are right, but the opposite person will take it wrong, because it is not them. It is their perception through which they are going to understand the things. It is like we want to remain in our shoes and we don't want to wear the shoes of the opposite one. Thus, again, the very same vicious circle of assumptions and misery and unhappiness. The third reason I would say is an attitude of perfection. My goodness, this word perfection has driven us all crazy. How desperately we crave for a perfect body, a perfect skin, clothes, perfect home, perfect relationships, and a lot. I really want to state that perfection is nothing, dear. It is a mental disease. Aspiration of perfection is really killing us every day. We haven't spared even our children. It really brings tears to my eyes seeing young children being snubbed because we want to make them a perfect model. It may be their grades, their daily routine, or their other activities. The desire of perfection gives birth to comparison, and then again, a vicious circle of unhappiness, miseries. The next reason I can say you is the unable to let go. If someone asks me, really, I'll say the real meaning of it is lifetime prison. It is a kind of prison where you are playing the role of a culprit, a warden, a prison officer, but there's a good news, and it is that the verdict is also in your hands. Trust me, it is that kind of prison where we know we have all the powers to release ourselves, but we don't want liberation. Under such a situation, no one can help you, only you. I want to tell you, this is more mental than physical. You hadn't held someone or something or some situation of your past, but you have so absorbed in it that you don't know, you're not living in the present, you are still in love with your bad years. Can you think of this grave mess that you are not only unconsciously creating, but every day adding to the previous one? Think about it, because the choice is yours. Understand? The next I would say is self-limiting beliefs. This is also a kind of disease that we are suffering from since our childhood. And the irony is, we don't know we are sick. Though certain diseases can be cured like pneumonia, influenza, diarrhea, etc., etc., etc. But once we suffer from self-limiting beliefs, it is toughest to cure. Trust me. I don't want to say that you take my words literally, but it is harming you adversely. It is the biggest crime you are doing against yourself. These are the things I did wrong in my life. These are the things which held me away from my goals, my dream life. Some of the symptoms of this disease, I would say, this self-limiting belief that we use in our language or in our everyday sentence is like, I don't have time, I can't do it because, or I'm not good enough, I'll be judged, what people will say, what if I have failed, I'm not as good as you are or him or her, and there are a lot of sentences to speak like blah 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 blah. Though there are innumerous points, but these were mine. If you all have any, please drop in the comment box. You can also tell me, because it is you who need to find out the root cause of your unhappiness so that you can cure it. The happy thing for me nowadays that I have always been pointed out as an over positive creature. But friends, I really want to say you, it was not easy for me. I learned it over a period of time. I have developed this mindset. I had lived a lot through negativity, and which had added a lot of unhappiness to my life. Very often we spill from our mouth, we speak from our mouth that ye bhi koi zindagi hai. Is it called life? But friends, I have just one answer for that. Whatever it is your life. Please embrace it. Know the root cause of your unhappiness, your miseries, and discard it forever. Embrace the beautiful life that is really created for you, and you are the creator of your reality. Trust me, I told you. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please share, please subscribe. I have nothing more to say. Thank you so much.